Sports, Episode 3. I am your host, RJ Johnson, accompanied by my co-host, Elliot Bender, a.k.a. Mr. Media, a.k.a. That IT Guy. And I think we have a pretty good show lined up for today. And in this episode, we'll be covering topics such as the Mustangs baseball and softball team, while also getting into the details of the men's and women's basketball team. And I have a little special thing for the end of the show. We'll be asking some CBC students who they believe is the greatest athlete of all time. And now Elliot's going to tell you about the verse of the day and get into the weather.
Yes, sir, I am. So today's verse of the day brought to you by thebible.com. It's Philippians 2:5. It says, in your relationship with one another, have the same mindset as Jesus Christ. You know, it's all about the mindset, guys. That's, when it comes down to our spiritual life, it's where the heart is at, not what you do, it's where the heart's at. But guys, today's forecast is still not available for some reason. Like they have current conditions, they've knocked it down for some reason. But for some reason we can still see a extended forecast. So right now, it's mostly clear. Tonight's supposed to be a low of 22 degrees. The high is supposed to be about 42. Currently on my watch, it says approximately about 42 degrees right now. And then so it's it's gonna be pretty chilly. It's gonna start moving up throughout the end of the end of the week, and then beginning of the week, it's gonna be still a little rainy. So get ready.
It's really cold.
It's gonna start getting cold and rainy. Yeah, it's if you've not seen that big polar blast coming down from the north, it's been pretty crazy. If you've been watching the weather on TV, so, but I think this is the perfect time to tell us, RJ, what is the quote of the day?
I'm glad you asked. So this quote of the pod is basically one of the things I like to do to get the show started. And for this, I won't tell you who the athlete is, but I'm going to tell you the quote and let you kind of get an idea on who I'm talking about. So for this, wait, first, you have any
guesses?
Yeah, guesses?
I got a feeling that it's going to be like, we did Kobe Bryant, so maybe somebody that does basketball. I don't know. Maybe
it may be somebody legendary. It's definitely somebody legendary.
It's probably some of the greatest,
Okay, so the quote says, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Now, the icon that said that is Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad, for those that don't know, the few that do not know, Muhammad Ali was a professional boxer, activist, and nicknamed the greatest.
See what I did at the beginning? It's probably some of the greatest. Get it? Slapper. You didn't catch it. If you didn't listen, you didn't catch it.
I didn't catch it. He is widely regarded as one of the most significant and celebrated sports figures of the 20th century, and is one of the greatest boxers of all time.
It's a stud, yeah.
And for me, just for this quote, I really believe that you have to enjoy the process to really get your desired rewards, because without practicing, you're not really going to get what you're aspiring for,
Yeah.
So I really like that quote, and that's why I had it on here for a quote of the pod.
That's good. Well, guys, I think we're about to go in. We're going to talk about the baseball team and the softball team, but before we do that, I think we're gonna play some layup, okay? Featuring words played by Andy Mineo. That's like my new favorite. That's my favorite song for the show.
You love this song.
It's a great song. Okay, you'll listen to it. It's funny, it's hilarious, and just have a blast. Okay, we'll be right back with you. Don't touch that dial.
What time is it? Game time.
1.3 seconds left in regulation, and right now you're not thinking jump shot. All you need is a layup.
That's right, Marv. Nothing fancy.
No cosmetics.
They got a chance to win it here tonight at Dykeman Courts. He throws it in. He's wide open.
Don't miss. Don't miss. Waving my American flag, even though it got main China on the tag. Used to have a G2 with the mags and my face in the mags. I ain't gotta brag. Mama said let other people do that. White man still can't jump. If I catch a fast break, then I'm slapping the glass. Asked my man Sequoia, should I marry my girl? He said, wait up, hold up. She fly, love God, and she got a good mind. Oh boy, that's a layup. Gotta take it when it comes. Please don't miss it. What you about to do with the rock when it's game time for the weather? Save me a ticket. One time. Is it game time? One time. Is it game time? One time. Is it you had to send this. You knew I couldn't resist. This is a finger roll. Look at the flick of the wrist. That's an assist. No, I insist. Throw me that alley, I open. The Spanish girl up in my hood, look me in the face. Said, don't be as stupid, I got it. Look, shorty, I'm the professor, get the lab coat, yeah. I speak 2 languages, Spanglish and factors. Coach told me no lollygagging. Still dunk with my pants sagging 116. Yeah, it's tatted, cause I've been riding, no bandwagon. Look, I done came down. Nate told me that's H-Town, but I'm Bayheim when it's game time. That's a layup, but I never laid down, You ain't even pray for the dinner. How you got the praying hands on the ground for the picture? Shots on Twitter, they ain't nothing but net. Man, we already won, we'll kill God next. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Young boy, don't quit. One thing that you don't miss. That's a lap. That's easy, boy. That's a lap. That's a freebie, boy. That's a lap. Don't do it. That's a lap. That's easy, fuck. Easy, that's a lap.
Hometown NY, city don't sleep, only close one eye. City don't weep, grown boys don't cry. 4 wings with the pork fried, oh my. I'm scheming up, teaming up, laying up, screaming out buckets. Buckets. They don't even know me, but swear that I did it for duckets, my lord. We brought Sosa back to the minus. Lord help me, the money look major. She only love things that are fun. And she looking fine, boy, I tell you. That's 2 doors with the ceiling gone. That's 5'4" with the silicone. I guess Mr. Right still choosing wrong. Cut color folks still can't swim, but Mike Phelps couldn't walk the water. Pastor said that we need Jesus. Big State was his alma mater. D my Lord, shouts to Alex, that's my brother. Shout indictment over Rucker. Look at Grace, I think I love her.
You should have taken the stairs, young fella.
You can't win them all, Marv.
I can't believe he blew it. Unbelievable. That's a ball game here in New York.
In 95, I helped tow your trailer. And in 09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I used to be a beggar, down on calloused knees, till I got an invitation into the courts of a king. I'm moving on, I'm moving on, I'm moving on, keep moving. I'm moving on, I'm moving on, I'm moving on. You gave me my freedom, now I'm free indeed. I'm marching out of the doubt to trust, out of the need to us. No turning back, no turning back, no turning back. I'm falling head over heels into love, leaving regret in the dust. No turning back, no turning back, no turning, no turning back, no. And if I'm caught in the crossfire, I will stand my ground. And even if I were to lose my life, your arms are where I'll be found. I'm marching out of the doubt to trust, out of the need to us. No turning back, no turning back. marching out of the doubt into trust, out of the me into us. No turning back, no turning back. I'm falling head over heels into love, leaving regret in the dust. No turning back, no turning back, no turning back. Oh, oh no, turning back. Oh, oh no, turning back. Oh, oh no, turning back. Oh, oh no. No turning back. No turning back. No turning back. No turning back.
And we are back. Take it away, RJ.
So, me and Elliot was talking off the air about our favorite athletes of all time. And for me, my favorite athlete is Muhammad Ali.
You know that's upsetting because I thought I was your favorite athlete, but it's fine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, so
yeah,
there's Elliot. There's Elliot Bender. I misspoke. There's Elliot Bender, and then there's Muhammad Ali.
Oh Lord!
Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But basically, I was gonna get into why I thought Muhammad is my favorite athlete of all time. No, why I think he's the best athlete of all time. Not favorite, because my favorite is totally different. But I just want to get into some of the accolades that he had to becoming the greatest athlete, in my opinion, of all time. But before that, the reason that Muhammad Ali is so respected is because when he first came up, before the age of 18, he went to 6 Kentucky Golden Glove titles. Well, he won 6 Kentucky Golden Glove titles, 2 national Golden Glove titles, and 2 Amateur Athletic Union AAU titles, national titles.
That's
all
impressive.
at the age of 18.
That he's a boss. He's a slugger.
And then at age 22, became the youngest boxer to ever beat the reigning heavyweight champion Sonny Liston, where he was a 7-1 underdog. So back then, when he fought Sonny Liston, he was not the Muhammad Ali as we know today.
No,
he was definitely the underdog, and he won that at just being age 22.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then after the 3-year ban from boxing because of him not wanting to go to the war to fight, he came back. He came back and went toe-to-toe with the legendary Joe Frazier and ended up losing to Frazier the first time. But then the second time, the rematch, he won it, so which was called the they call it the Rumble in the Jungle, which he was once again an underdog, being 4-1. And then, so I'm saying all of these fights because it just shows how much he's accomplished at such a young age. And he had another Thriller in Manila fight against Joe Frazier, which he had a 2-1 record at that point. And he actually won the heavyweight belt 3 separate times. So he won it, lost it, lost it, and then won it again. But he's beaten everybody that he's lost to. So Joe Frazier, George Foreman. I don't think he beat Frazier. He lost to Frazier and then beat him. And then with George Foreman, it was really like George Foreman beat Frazier, but he fought Frazier before he fought George Foreman just to get the rematch back.
Wow, that's
so that's dedication.
Yeah,
he could have went straight to the champ, but wanted to prove that he was better than this boxer.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Like, just shows you that he's dedicated to what he does, and he wants to be the very best. And he wants to make sure of that.
And I just run through those facts just so when we call people from CBC and they give their favorite athlete, give who they think's the best athlete of all time, we can kind of compare. You heard my stats, and you can hear whatever they have to say about that athlete.
Exactly.
But switching gears and getting into some baseball and softball Mustang news.
Woo! Woo! Let's go.
Yeah, the baseball team have been.
Mustangs, baseball Mustangs. Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah, they've definitely been killing it as they improved to 7-0 on the season, winning 2 more games today. Well, not today, but in the past. 7-4 against Dallas Christian in their first game, and 16-11 over Southwestern Christian in Game 2. So the baseball team had to come from behind in both of those games. So it just shows how much heart they have to come back from being down. Because some teams they get down and they just give up. And then also including going 5-5 with 5 with 5 RBIs in Game 2. Garen Johnson, Jr. and Fernando. I don't even know how to say the last name. Fernando
Escapada.
I don't want to mispronounce it, so I'm just gonna say his first name. But they were the starters, but neither. They were the starters. Gavin Johnson, senior out of Little Rock, Arkansas, went in relief, and then allowing just 1 hit in 3 scoreless relief innings, while Ben Slate, sophomore out of Hot Spring, Arkansas, earned the win in Game 2. So you could just tell how each baseball player contributed to the game. And I'm not the biggest baseball fan. Like, I don't watch it a lot. So some of the terms with baseball I may be struggling with, so just bear with me. Yeah, just bear with me.
Same.
But, so getting into some of the things that CBC had going on during the game, they was down 10-0 after 1 inning. And then a player had a home run in Game 2, provided the go-ahead head runs, and finished their magical weekend.
Yeah.
So basically, each game, they didn't start off too hot.
Yeah, they pretty much. So
and then they finished.
They had the momentum starting up, and then they caught that, and then they just surpassed everyone. Because again, when the first game, was a 7-4. Obviously they're down, but the second game over Southwest Christian, 16-10, 11. So they're at one point they were 0-10. That's what so they got the other Southwest Christian only got 1 more point by the end of that game, which is crazy. Just at the rate they're going.
So this baseball team definitely had a lot of heart going into both of these games to not give up, and they definitely believe in what they're practicing on, as they are now 7-0 in their next game. They will be heading to Joplin, Missouri next weekend for the Joplin tournament at historic Joe Becker Stadium. So that's a pretty big deal.
That's pretty, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
What's gonna happen is I'm gonna predict. Okay, they're gonna make it off. You're gonna be over there, and they're gonna be in the because they got they got championship rings last year. Yeah. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna be in the running for some more rings. It's gonna happen, and they're gonna get it, or they're gonna be second or third.
Yeah, I know.
That's got a feeling like this is kind of what's going, because 7-0 baseball is really kind of I played softball, so keep that in mind. I'm trying to gauge it by that, but
we won't get into softball.
I stunk. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so I know the ring process is very complex, but they're definitely getting rings, and I'm glad for them for that accomplishment. But moving on to the softball team, this team is also doing very well, as they're 5-0, winning every game at the Cotown Classic, including the first shutout of the season. They're also 6-0 against Friends in the first game, before they came from behind to beat Bethel 5-4 in Game 2. Alyssa Estrada, senior out of Houston, Texas, had 2 RBIs in Game 1, and Ashlyn Spears, freshman out of Cabot, Arkansas, was in the circle again, combining with Kim House, senior out of Jacksonville, Arkansas, on the 7-hit shutout that saw Spears strike out 5. Yeah, that's pretty
Strike
good.
out 5 people, that's pretty crazy, just as a...
That's pretty good. And getting into Bailey Jackson, junior out of Monticello, Arkansas, clutched 2-out single in the 6th inning against Bethel, brought the Mustangs back from a 4-3 deficit to win. Kaylin Powell, junior out of Spring Hill, Arkansas, started and struck out 5, but Allie State John, sophomore out of Conway, Arkansas, got the win in relief. striking out 1 and allowing just 2 hits in the 2.1 scoreless innings. So all these stats just really tell me that the softball team has a lot of contributors that really helps. Like when you make a baseball team or softball team, it has to be more than just one. Like it's not just basketball.
Yeah.
Sometimes in basketball, one player can take over the entire game. And in baseball, that's a little harder because you have a lot of different interchangeable
exactly.
positions.
Yeah.
So it's more of a team sport. I feel like the more players you have, the more of a team sport it is.
Yes.
So that's nice to see the baseball and softball team doing that well and just really playing with each other and getting these wins. And the softball team is heading to Louisiana also next weekend for the LSU Alexandria Purple and Gold tournament. So hopefully they do well in that. I believe they will, as they're undefeated, just like the baseball team. And then getting into switching gears a little bit and getting to men's and women's basketball.
I have some breaking news. Breaking news, real quick. Breaking news. Ready, guys? Right now, the girls are playing at Freedman Harris, and
that's messed up.
It's a little. It's
a little lopsided.
A little lopsided there. We are currently down by let's say a lot. The score is currently 16-43. Freedman's Harris University. So this is just be cheering them on. They're not doing too hot, but we'll be on we're on their side obviously.
Yeah, definitely on their side.
Oh, but it's okay. But yeah, so. They're in the third quarter, so we'll see. We'll see if they can come back to this. I believe they can. Anything can happen in basketball. But before let's keep watching that. But while we're watching that, let's go ahead and just talk about what happened in the Fest. Okay.
Yeah. So getting into some of the games that already occurred, Holly Allen, junior out of Cabot, Arkansas. Yeah, definitely had 21 points, and Sierra Carrier, senior out of Eugene, Oregon, finished with 19 as CBC completed the season sweep of Stephens, beating the Stars 63-42.
20 points. That's pretty good. Yeah, 21 points. Man.
The game was low scoring early, but because the Mustangs led 24-22 at the half, but ended up outscoring the Stars 21-8 in the third quarter to put the game out of reach.
Wow.
CBC was efficient in the second half, which when we watched during the homecoming game, they was definitely efficient as how many different players was hitting threes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's their strong point, shooting 50. But in this game, they shot 55% from the floor in the win, which is a high percentage.
Yes, for them, yeah. The
Mustangs are on the road next Thursday at number 13 Freed Hardman, which Elliot just got done talking about. It's occurring right now because the girls play before the guys.
Yes. So right now, and it's currently 18-50 now. Freeman, yeah.
But they are 13th ranked, so Freed Hardman is a really good team.
Yes, they are.
So maybe that lessens the blow just a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Moving on to the men's basketball team.
Okay.
Now they definitely had a day to remember.
Oh my word!
Oh my! You see the score?
Yeah, I saw. Oh dang, son, it was crazy. I'm over there. I was listening. I was hearing about it. I was like, no. You go ahead and sell it. You go ahead and tell this crazy stat. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm more familiar with basketball. That's kind of my territory, and whenever you beat a team by exactly 50 or 50 plus more points. That's kind of I don't know if that's like an effort thing or is that just like they just kept the starters in. I don't think they kept the starters in because Quentin, Q, we call him Q Roberts, senior out of Baton Rouge. He's usually off again, on again starter, but he had 30 points on 8 threes. Now Q can really shoot, and so for him it's easier to rack up points, but you still have to be able to hit shots in games.
Yeah.
And he hit 8 threes and had a total of 30 points. Then getting into Tyrone Austin, senior out of Caruthersville, Missouri, posted his second career triple-double with 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists as the Mustangs went on to win this 108-58. So I bring up his triple-double because that's not a normal thing in college. Like in NBA right now, it's kind of normalized because with playing in the NBA, you get more minutes, right? I mean, the star players.
Yeah.
So You have 4 quarters and the 12-minute quarters, and you have a lot of time to rack up those stats. In college, not so much. I mean, you have 2 halves, and those is hard. It's not as easy to rack up the type of stats you can in the NBA. Even though they're going against harder competition in the NBA, they have a lot more minutes.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. And also, this is the second time in his career, so that just shows how hard it is, as Tyrone Austin is the first Mustangs player to post a triple-double. And
That's crazy.
Getting into some of the other Mustangs that helped contribute to this blowout win, Jordan Parker Jr. at Lafayette, Louisiana, Tedrick Wolf Jr. out of Jacksonville, Arkansas, and Simon Okowele?
You know as well as I do.
Yeah, I think I said that right.
I'm not even acting like I know.
Nah, that was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty fun. Also finished in double figures. I mean, they all finished in double figures, with JP, Jordan Parker, posting a career high of 21 points. So JP had 21, Tedrick Wolf had 16, Simon had 15 points, Q had 30, and Tyrone Austin had a 14-point triple-double. So in this game, it was filled with just different players putting up stats.
What I'm thinking
all in
here,
the same game.
I bet you, there's like homecoming. Whenever we were so far ahead, I bet you they're ducking on each other. Like I wish I could have been there to see this game, because it would have been like if this is at our home, we would have already started bringing out the keys. We would have brought out the keys real quick.
I bet the keys was brought out after the first 5 minutes. Like, yeah, I really wanted to see that game too.
That's funny. I
actually had a friend who played for the other team.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's
unfortunate. I was just like. But that's a killer score.
Yeah, but you can see how, like, I'm not too biased, as I was
obviously not.
Yeah, obviously not, as I'm still talking about the performances and the score. But
yeah.
And another thing that stood out to me is that the Mustangs only turned the ball over 9 times in the entire game.
Wow.
And out-rebounded the Pioneers by 52-34. But one of the things I wanted to update from the last 2 podcasts, it was ranked 21 in the nation, and now they're ranked number 19th in the nation.
Wow.
And so the Mustangs are back on the road tonight, currently. Well, not currently, because they play after the girls.
Yes. Yeah.
Right now, the girls are...
Yeah, playing right now.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is
And then they had the Freed Hardman for a huge American Midwest Conference matchup. And right now, the CBC Mustangs are doing really good, because the record's really good in the conference, and for the Mustangs, I don't really think there's anybody standing in their way to winning the conference tournament.
No.
But you never want to get too ahead of yourselves, because when you get to the tournament, it's a whole different ball game. Like, it's one game and you're out. It's like the NCAA tournament. You may be the number 1 ranked seed, but how many number 1 ranked seeds get out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's the fact that you're projected, you're set that doesn't mean that's, because again, those could be just really lucky games, and it's happen to fall within the same time, and you have that stat build up. So, but it comes down to skill and how much you want it. Like again, Muhammad Ali, he wanted it and he worked hard for it. So
yeah. Also I did talk about my favorite athlete. I talked about who I thought was the best athlete of all time. Who do you think is the best athlete of all time?
Well,
before we go to break.
Right before, after myself, obviously, and after RJ Johnson, obviously, I would have to say, one of the people I always looked up to whenever I was younger, he wasn't like the studiest guy ever, but he, I related to him in a way that, it was kind of different. I know that sounds really stupid. Yao Ming. I know that sounds really.
Yao Ming?
Yao Ming. I know that
Yao Ming was a baller.
I know, but listen, his career didn't last really long, but
because he was really tall.
But he was such a good player because of his height. But first of all, the reason why I say him is because he just put an example out there for me as a minority, and basketball is not an Asian sport. It is not an Asian sport. You can see that obviously by who's on the courts. But he set the expectation that anybody can do anything if they want to. He put his time, effort in there. I did a report on him way back in the day. I remember saying he started out young. He started out and he worked hard at it. And he didn't think he was ever going to be in pro league, but he did because he wanted to, and he sought after like that kind of a career, and he pushed himself to get that. So that's just really cool to see. Really, just it really did spur me on as a person. Make me want to be a better athlete or just a better person all around. Know that I can do whatever I put my mind to. So.
And when we come back from the break, we will be talking to somebody, a current student from CBC. I'm not going to say who yet because I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But I'm going to call them during the break, and when we come back, we're going to see who he thinks is the greatest athlete of all time.
Shopping, you meant business. You ace vehicle history searches and test drives. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Young Metro, don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Hammer time, they can't touch me, hammer time. Hammer time, they can't touch me, hammer time. Bedtime, I ain't never had a bedtime. Headline, boy, you looking at a headline. Hammer time, they can't touch me, hammer time. Hammer time, they can't touch me, hammer time. Bedtime, watch me kill the scene. Fed time, we gon' steal the scene. Fed time, I say, MC Hammer. Out the slammer, I'm set free for real. Feel my town riding through Atlanta. Jesus took the wheel. I can't keep the truth inside of me, I gotta squeal. Self-on trust and God just cut the world's $1 bill. Oh man, he gon' tuck back down and seal the deal. Y'all playing? Sorry, I can't understand the word that y'all saying. Big boss moves, never heard of small plans. I just want some acres, I come from a small land. Not for real, itty bitty. Used to be down bad, boy. Now I'm up like Diddy. Got a new wave, and we surfing through the city. Crazy walking with me, shining bright. We got it lit like sheesh. Out the dog pound, we done made it off the leash. Making sure the people comprehend like a piece. Young Georgia boy coming straight up out the east. Grinding 'cause my family got a feast. Hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time, hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time. Bedtime, I ain't never had a bedtime. Headline, boy, you looking at a headline. Hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time, hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time. Bedtime, watch me kill the scene. Fed time, we gon' steal the scene. Fed time.
Now tell me who you fooling? Saw you coolin', flexing with the jeweler. What you doing? You don't measure up, I met the ruler. Closet full of chains, boy, you never been a shooter. I don't need a chain just to prove it, boy, I'm moving. Where you moving? Out your mama house, off your mama couch. If we living what we talk about, you don't talk a lot. Sambo, rented Lambo, you can say that. Took my money, built the studio, and took the range back. H-Town to Atlanta, country, Bama, MC Hammer. Boy, we too legit to quit, I die. Resurrect my yana, put a nail up in your coffin. My hammer awesome, I ain't worried about no problems. The Lord I call on, my God. Everybody eating if you part of my squad. And they know I'm working, boy, I stay on my job. You know, got my standard, he the answer. I ain't perfect, I'm just purchased out here working with the hammer like.
Hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time, hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time, bedtime, I ain't never had a bedtime. Headline, boy, you looking at a headline. Hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time, hammer time, they can't touch me. Hammer time, bedtime, watch me kill the scene. Fed time, we gon' steal the scene. Fed time.
Okay, guys, and we are back at the CBC Tower.
And we called one of the students that currently goes here, and his name is Keegan Conway, sophomore at Amarillo, Texas. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay,
oh,
so
yeah.
we're talking to Keegan Conway, and sir, I want to ask you first, who do you think is the best athlete of all time?
If I had to go off my personal preference, I would say Tim Tebow. I'm a big Tebow fan.
Tim Tebow
Yes,
from
sir.
Florida.
Yes, sir. From the
Heisman.
University of Florida. Yes. Heisman Trophy winner.
Why Tebow? Why?
Well, I think he's a very, very Christian man, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he brought Christianity back to football.
Yeah.
And I also think that he's just a good leader. He never gave up. He never quit. He's just a great guy.
Yeah, he's
All
very
around.
Christian oriented is one of the
Yes.
things. And whenever he was playing, it was always televised him praying before the game and all that. So I feel like he brought that healthy aspect to the game. Because as you see, some players don't have the greatest attitudes approaching the game. And with Tim Tebow, he was a great athlete, and also he had all those Christian qualities that came with him. But what's your favorite moment from Tim Tebow? Just something that stood out that made you say, okay, this is the best athlete of all time.
Man, well, I remember that 2011-2012 season. He was behind Kyle Orton. They started out 1-3. It was a terrible season. I believe Kyle Orton was averaging 2 picks a game. They put in Tebow, and believe it or not, that season Tebow ends up winning 8 games, all in the fourth quarter, in the last 5 minutes. And I think probably what did it for me is I remember I was sitting at Texas Roadhouse watching the Broncos
Texas
and Steelers.
Roadhouse. I love
Texas Roadhouse.
Ah, baby, I got you.
And see Tim Tebow overtime, and first pass to Demaryius Thomas, they score, and it was just a Cinderella moment, because he worked his way up to be a starter, and then took the Broncos to the playoffs, first time since 2006.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a great thing.
So, if you would you ever choose to be in his footsteps? Would you ever choose to follow, be him? Would you ever choose that? You think?
Oh yes, 100%. I mean, I know he's not in the National Football League anymore. He actually plays in I believe a Double-A team for the New York Mets. But what he's done around the globe, preaching the gospel and stuff and doing sermons, I would love to take that spot. And he's got a pretty wife as well. So
she is very, very, yes, I have to agree.
And what do you think of him covering college sports? I see him all the time on First Take talking with Stephen A. And he always gives really insightful analysis of the games and pregame. So what do you think of him as a commentator / reporter?
I think he has really good knowledge of the game. I mean, this guy was a cool cat in college, winning 2 BCS championships and a Heisman Trophy winner. So I definitely think he knows what he's talking about. I think it's great that he's in a sports analysis.
So if you could talk to him right now, what would you tell him?
I'd probably be like, dude, why aren't you playing football? That's probably what I'd ask.
Well, you could tell him right now. I'm joking. He's not here, actually. I'm joking.
That'd be pretty cool.
But no, we really do appreciate you coming on and just sharing what your thoughts are. Do you have anything else to ask him, RJ?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay, sorry.
Well, no, that's cool.
No, go ahead. He's just RJ's getting excited here. Okay.
Yeah, talk to because this is my guy right here, Conway. Do different classes and everything. We always he always helps me out with certain stuff. We always talked about a lot of things we talk about is music related sometimes, but we really talk about everything, to be honest. So Conway's one of those guys you could just talk to whenever. But
great guy.
I do have a question. Well, not really a question, but okay. So Elliot thinks the best player of all time is Yao Ming, and who I think the best athlete of all time is Muhammad Ali. You have any? How do you feel about those two individuals, Muhammad Ali and Yao Ming?
Well, let's see. I think Yao Ming coming into the league was a very big step for the NBA. He was a really good big man.
Big man's understatement.
Yeah,
I think he did a lot for the Rockets.
Yes,
definitely,
sir.
I think opened some minds up for some coaches to be more suitable to a big guy instead of just shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad Ali, I mean, yeah, that's crazy. He was a veteran. He wasn't scared of anybody. Didn't fear anybody. And I know he went through a lot of adversity, especially in the time period that he was in. And it was hard between Tebow and Muhammad Ali. Those are probably, if I had to say, probably the two most polarizing athletes of their time. I would say Muhammad Ali, probably in the I'm trying to think. I believe it's 1960s or 70s. And I would say Tim Tebow is probably, I would say the 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just wanted to see what you had to say about those two athletes, because just letting you know who we thought the best athletes were compared to yours, because Tim Tebow is a really great figure for the game of football. So just wanted to share our thoughts all around. But I do really appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts and contributing to the CBC Talk Sports Show.
And just guys, reiterate, this guy here that we're talking to right now is a stud-tacular cross-country runner. Just to let you guys know, if you ever want to see him run, just ask him, and you see those legs running, okay? Man, them legs, okay?
Yeah, tell him. Hey, wait, tell him. Can we?
Yeah.
Tell them where they can find you on social media.
Bro, you guys can find me. Oh, are you talking about on social media?
Heck yeah.
Or just whatever you want to promote.
All right. Well, if you guys need any and everything, you guys can find me on my Instagram at conway.keegan. That's CONWAY.KEEGAN. But if you want a more direct source, because I'm on my Snap all the time, it's TH3HYP3. I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. I can't wait to have you back on the show, maybe. Okay.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Let us know. Give us a call. We'll talk to you. Okay. We'll see you. Okay.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
So we have about almost 4 minutes. We're good on time. We have 16 minutes still left.
That's why I wasn't even worried about time. That's why I kept asking him a question. I was like, I looked at it, I was like, oh shoot. Because Keegan was the one I really wanted to talk to. I like to see. Tim Tebow is not really one that people.
So you already know.
Yeah, Channing said he's going to pick either.
If you're playing that drum, but you got no rhythm. If you're a little out of key, but you're always singing. If you're so carefree, but so not careless. Such a wreck, but ain't love reckless. Oh, if you're listening, I hope you hear this. Long live the young at heart. You know who you are. With your spirit burning, take a risk and take a chance. Carry on. Long live the soul set free. Don't be afraid to dream. While the world's still turning, every moment make Endless memories slip away. Long live the young at heart. You know who you are. With your spirit burning, take a risk and take a chance. Carry on. Long live the soul set free. Don't be afraid to dream. While the world's still turning, every moment make it happen. With 2 left feet, keep on dancing. Walking hand in hand, step by step, beat by beat, breath by breath, walking hand in hand, step by step.
And we're back. Are we back?
Yes, we
And
are
we're
back.
We just call contestant number 2. No, I'm just joking. This is a person that currently attends CBC, Central Baptist, and you want to introduce yourself right quick?
Hey, it's Channing Mitchell checking in.
All right, we hear you. We hear
Yeah,
you.
so as you heard, we have Channing Mitchell, and you're a junior, right? Junior?
Junior. I'm a junior.
Yeah, junior, and you want to tell them where you're from?
I'm from Marion, Arkansas.
Man, Arkansas, you heard it here first.
Right.
We was wanting to get who you thought was the best athlete of all time.
The best athlete of all time, in my opinion, has to be none other than the legendary Celtic, Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce, that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
To be honest, I'm gonna be very honest. I do not have no idea who that is. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
For the people that don't know who that is, explain why Paul Pierce is so legendary.
Well, this right here defines him for me. This is the man who destroyed, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
In
okay.
the basketball finals.
Okay.
A little too soon for that, but okay.
2008.
Yeah, he definitely took it to Kobe. I don't know if he came out on the top end every time, but he was his competitor for a little bit. What else? So, like Paul Pierce, compared to most small forwards in the league, is probably one of the top 3 or top 5 small forwards in my opinion. But for you, he's the greatest. So, what really stood out to you? What was the moment that made you say, "This is the greatest athlete that I've ever seen"?
Well, for me, see, most people don't know this. He went head to head with Kobe Bryant and Shaq when they were together on the Lakers.
Yeah.
And
really,
he played so well one game against them, and Shaq gave him the nickname The Truth. And that's what stood out to me.
Wow.
That's what stood out to me. That's what makes Paul Pierce the greatest, in my opinion.
So for those that don't know, The Truth is a nickname given to Paul Pierce. That's it's a very popular nickname, and Channing really just told us the origin of the nickname because I didn't even know that how he got that nickname. I knew he was called The Truth, but I didn't know why. Like I just thought because he was really clutch. But for you breaking that down, that really let us know.
What does that mean though? What does The Truth mean? What is that by giving that nickname? What does that mean though?
The truth means that you're just great at what you do, basically.
All right, so he's pretty much the GOAT.
Like no line.
Right.
Like no false.
Yeah, no falsehood. No,
yeah,
he's
no
the GOAT.
Yeah,
he's the
no
GOAT.
Fake news.
Yeah.
No fake news. No fake news.
So I wanted to tell you our picks for who we thought was the best athletes of all time, and mine was Muhammad Ali, and Elliot's was Yao Ming. So out of those two iconic figures, what do you have to say about each one of those people in particular? And did you watch them growing up? Or not growing up, but did you watch them?
Yeah.
One word for Ali, GOAT.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
And what about what's the greatest?
Yao Ming, legendary.
Oh, I like that one. I think GOAT's better. I think legendary is better than GOAT. So
yeah,
personally,
I mean that's debatable, but no, I'm just
oh, okay.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, but I really appreciate you coming on and talking and giving your perspective on Paul Pierce. Before we let you go, who do you think is gonna win? Since Paul Pierce is a basketball player, who do you think is gonna win the championship, the NBA championship, the finals?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about this year, but I know next year when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson come back, we're gonna win next year. The Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors,
baby. Yes.
You think Giannis coming?
Giannis is definitely coming. Giannis is definitely coming.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. If you want to let them know where they can find you, your socials, anything.
Follow me on my new Instagram at CAMitch_1 and Snapchat at C.AM30.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, and we're gonna try to call our third student from CBC. If we don't, then we'll just talk about something else. But Shannon, I appreciate your time and thank you for contributing to CBC Tower Radio.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Pierre Bell.
You said what?
Shout out to Pierre Bell.
Yeah, Pierre. Yeah, shout out Pierre.
All right,
There's a current student here.
All right. So, guys, we're about to play another song, and then after this song, we'll see if we can have a third and final CBC student to talk with us. Okay, we'll see y'all.
There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God. to be overcome by your presence, Lord.
And we're back. And so we only have we're about to get out of here in under 2 minutes, so we wasn't able to have enough time to call the third person. But we will be calling more people in the future pods, future shows, because I really liked how that went. What do you think?
That was actually a lot of fun. Actually, I was kind of hesitant about it, but RJ, you changed me. You have changed me for the better.
I try to bring ideas to the show.
No, listen. That's what we need.
Yeah, it's like a dynamic duo right here.
He is the dynamic duo. Okay, but before we even get further into that, I'm just going to recap the game. Okay, this is So I want you guys to get your Kleenexes out and get your tissues out.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh! Listen, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. At one point it was like 30-point difference. Right now,
Not the score.
It's about 24 difference. So it's currently it's a 46-70. So
the
CBC Mustangs, the girls held it at least for as long as they could. Try to meet that gap, and they for sure did that gap. But man, they just didn't have enough time. So there's the recap of the game. So
yeah. So let me know down in the comment section down below who you think is the greatest athlete of all time.
On YouTube, yeah.
And also just send or give details on how we can improve the show when you see me around campus or on my email address that's in the description box. And also that's it for the episode 3 of CBC Talk Sports. Thanks for listening. I hope you tune in again next week, same day, same time. For those of you that want to catch the live video, we do this show every Thursday, 6 to 7 on YouTube, Central Standard Time. And with that, I've been your host, RJ Johnson, with my co-host, Elliot, a.k.a. Mr. Media. See you next episode on CBC Talk Sports.
Smell ya. That was good. That was really good.
Do they see us?
Yes, they still see. No, they didn't even see us but they can still hear us. Hey guys, I thank you for logging on at YouTube. But right now we're gonna have to come back and just talk to y'all later. So we're gonna give you some more sports next week, and we can't wait to see. Can't wait to talk to y'all.
That's the YouTube audience.
Yeah. So we'll see y'all later. Okay.